on to you Geminis. So let's get into this. You Geminis have the 6 of Raphael, the 2 of Ariel, and then you have the 9 of Michael. So someone's lingering around trying to get you Geminis to come back. It ain't working. It's just building frustration. But the 9 of Michael, a lot of you Geminis are just gonna probably ignore them because you Geminis don't care to really be around them like that in the first place. And like I said, you just don't care to really be around them in the first place. So you Geminis, pretty much know that they're wasting their time. They're wasting their time. They're essentially wasting their time. Because what's happening here is they don't understand that you Geminis basically moved forward emotionally. And again, they're familiar in a spiritual sense where obviously you know them, but the two of you are not alike. And you Geminis very much so know that. So these people in general coming in trying to like, appeal to you and try to be in a relationship with you and all of that, it ain't really working because for what for, right? What for? And I am a little bit under the weather, so so please, I will move a little bit slower, but I'm a little bit under the weather. But the point is that you're moving forward regardless, and you're just ignoring them no matter what. Now the Lovers, and then you have the 3 of Raphael, which is, now the Lovers is you Geminis. It represents Gemini in major arcana. So you loved them without needing immediate compensation. You didn't need, because it wasn't transactional. You Geminis didn't need them to show you all this stuff, and all you needed to do was show them a little bit of affection. You gave to show them from personal actions that they were wasting essentially their time trying to suspect you of being up to something, because you Geminis basically gave to them and you didn't demand them even to give you anything back immediately, that is. Now, obviously, if the two of you are going to be in a relationship and the relationship is going to work out, obviously, they do have to give back. And the 3 of Raphael speaks to, and now they're kind of messed up in their own situation where they now that you Geminis don't care about them, and you Geminis don't really care to really, you don't really care to really, you don't want to get back together with them or whatnot. Now they understand only after you've left, because these people are ungrateful, right? And this is a part of what's tearing up the dating world because of the ungratefulness. And this is what it is I was saying about the 50-50 thing. Now let me explain. When we start talking about 50-50, sometimes people can drop the ball. What I'm referring to is, to be transparent with this, the laws of percentages, okay? I'm a geek. So the laws of percentages always says that whenever you start talking about percentages, it's always out of 100%, regardless of what the number is. It's always out of 100%. If we're talking about 200, for example, 100% of 200 would be 200. So when I say 50-50, I'm referring to both parties, meaning you and them, being in a relationship where the two of you are putting in just as much work. Because in modern day relationships, it's not 50-50. I'm not referring to the 50-50 thing. I'm not referring to 50-50 as they in and out and they playing games with you and they BSing. That's not what I'm referring to. I'm just making it as simplistic as I can. Okay, it's out of 100. Okay, let's do the simplest thing, 50, right? To kind of just be real easy to understand, 50-50, right? But the point that I'm trying to make here is the 50-50 is not about the actual percentages. The 50-50, it is, but it's not. Meaning that the 50-50 is not about 50 and all this other type of stuff, or the person coming in and coming out. The 50-50 is a principle. It's the quality of the numbers. Not just the quantity, the quality of the numbers. The person is doing half, and then the other person is doing just as much to keep the relationship going. Because a relationship, it takes two, right? Relationships takes two. So if one person is doing the vast majority of the work, and another person is sitting on their butt and kicking their toe up and rubbing their toes together, that's not a very functional relationship. Now, it could work, and the reason why it works is because the party that's being parasitized off of is stupid and is okay with being parasitized off of. So I'm not saying that these relationships that are not 50-50 don't happen. They do. It's just that a lot of these individuals are okay with being an idiot, right? Getting a lot of stuff taken from them. So that's all I'm referring to. I'm saying, because that's all I'm referring to. And this is what I'm referring to here, right? This person was unwilling to do their half to make sure that the relationship could work. Because what happens if you Geminis do the vast majority? Because everybody is saying the same thing. You putting in all the work. Okay, so no wonder why the relationship didn't work. Because the person didn't say, you know what? You Geminis putting in the work. Let me go ahead and do something for y'all. Let me actually pull my share of the weight. You Geminis are putting in the emotional work, financial work, this work, that work. Okay. But what is the other person doing? And if the other person is not doing anything, that's my point. Because nobody wants to give and give and give and give and give. And while the other person ignores their needs, they act like an idiot. They receive stuff and they can live with themselves. You know how disgusted I was, Gemini, when I interacted with some of the people who I was kicking it with, and I liked them so much at one point. I don't like them like that now. I wouldn't touch them with a 10-foot pole. But and they was just happy with taking. They were happy. I'm not gonna look. Anybody who acts like that, that's a dub, because you see it and yet you gotta ignore it. That's what I'm referring to. Because there's been plenty of times, and I'm sure there's been plenty of times for you Geminis, and this is one of the things that you and I share. I'm sure that there's been plenty of time, Geminis, where y'all have been in relationships where y'all are doing so much. Y'all are financially putting the work in, you paying the bills, you doing the emotional work. What is this idiot doing right there? They're not showing you that they love you. They're not telling you that they love you. They're not putting in work. They're not cooking. They're not saying, you know what, the Gemini is going ahead and do this. Let me go ahead and cook. Let me go ahead and wash dishes. Let me go ahead and clean the house. Let me go ahead and contribute some money to this thing. But a relationship takes two. So how is a functional relationship going to work if one person is doing the vast majority of the work while the other person is just waiting hand and foot and just being like, well, I don't have to do anything? That's charity at that point. That's charity at that point. That's not a relationship. That's charity at that point. Because that's what charity is about. Charity is about, okay, well, person gives without really getting anything back. But that's not a relationship, because a relationship, people are supposed to give you something back, is what I'm saying. Right? If y'all doing it, let's move forward. But if you Geminis are doing all the work and the person just does something for you every now and again, that's hogwash. They don't contribute. Come on now. So that's what I'm referring to this 50-50. And it's the only kind of relationship that is the most functional. Every other relationship don't work because it requires a person being a parasite, and it requires another person ignoring that they are being drained. So you have the king of Ariel and the empress. So you Geminis know what it is that you're doing, and you know other people's characters. You Geminis know that you would try to do things in a relationship, and again, barely would give you any kind of love or attention back, and you're right. So why would you take them seriously? And the Empress and the Ace of Michael represents you're looking for someone that can contribute to you. You know, the Empress, Ace of Michael, Empress, Ace of Michael. So now you Geminis are picking and choosing who you want to have around you. And if, again, you're aware, your eyes are open. If a person is not putting in work, what is their usefulness? You know, I've been in many relationships myself where I was doing the majority of the work. I had to continue the conversation. I had to start the conversation. Person doesn't have anything verbally or mentally to contribute. They calling me. They calling my phone so much. But then when I pick up the phone and I'm like, hey, what's up? They don't have anything to talk about. And then when I confront them on that, why do you call me, but you don't have anything to talk about? Because I just wanted to be around you. So then say that. And that could be the conversation. No, you won't even so much as give even that. But then you want me to be the only one romantic. And what are we doing here? You want me to do the financial work. You want me to do this. You want all this stuff. What do you want all these things, this stuff. What are you actually doing for real, for real? Because you have this irrational, not you, but I'm saying them. You have this irrational fear of somebody taking advantage of you. I haven't taken advantage of you. And yet you still with I'm clutching your pearls, which these are not pearls. These are samurai beads, but clutching your pearls, you know, meditation or prayer beads, but clutching your pearls, contribute. I'm just so scared. I don't know. What? You better contribute. It's been how many months? And so this is why you Geminis got your eyes open. You Geminis know what you can bring. And you know that people, oh, I'm relishing in it. Yeah, amazing. But then at the same time, what do they bring? Nothing. So you Geminis have spiritually, physically, and emotionally, and financially moved on. The Knight of Raphael, the Four of Raphael. And you Geminis don't need to worry, because you're not going to get caught up with another messed up relationship, because you Geminis are too aware, right? There's been days, my dear Geminis, where I woke up and I started spazzing out on the person. Because not spazzing out like that, but I mean like really grilling the person, asking the person, like, what am I really getting? Because I slept on it, and I woke up with this, and I'm like, what am I getting? What am I really getting out of this thing? Because you just seem to be complaining about everything, but then you want so much stuff, but yet you're not contributing anything. You can't even hold the conversation. And then and my dear Geminis, they thought that was too much. Oh, I'm grilling them. That's like me being AB, right? That's like me being Civ to them, right? If you know what I mean. Civ. I'm not gonna say the other word, the other part of the word, word, but that's like me being civ to them. That's like me being disrespectful. Okay. So all right, this is the thing. And then they go, and then what happened? No conversations with the other, and then no conversations. Person is a loser. The person doesn't do anything, and what happened? And now they look stupid because now it's, yeah, this person doesn't do anything. This person doesn't even, whet my imagination or none of that. Person doesn't have even good conversation. Person doesn't want to do anything. Person doesn't have finances to do anything. Yeah, it's like, right, but I'm civ, right? The grass is greener on the other side, right? But I'm civ. Okay, I'm civ. Okay. So, okay, this person isn't civ according to you. Okay, how's that working for you? And then they want to come back, and I'm like, no, that's a no, thank you, because I'm civ. So why would you come back to this person who is so civ? Right? I wouldn't want you to come back. Keep your behind over there. It's like, and I see this a million times. And it's the same thing for you, Geminis, right? Same thing. You have people who make terrible mistakes behind playing games. And again, here they are. Now they want to come back. Now they want to, don't be like that. Let's clarify the 4 of Raphael. Eight of Cups, Justice, 3 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles, 5 of Wands. Oh, whatever. The Devil card. 8 of Cups, the Devil, the 3 of Pentacles. This is what they get. Because you Geminis are so terrible, right? They can't make it work with you, right? Okay, well, they're going out there and they understand how dysfunctional things are now. They're coming back. Why? 8 of Pentacles, 5 of Wands, and then you have the Devil card. This is what I'm talking about. Wasting their time. Wasting their time. Wasting their time. Wasting their time. 8 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles, 5 of Wands, and the Devil card. Nah, you Geminis will take the mantle of being the one that's civ, right? I'm not going to say the whole word, but civ, right? So dysfunctional and trash, right? Okay. You stay away from them. All right. Right? And they feeling it because you Geminis are on point. And this is what happens all the time. All the time. People want to play stupid games and they win stupid prizes. But you Geminis, y'all ain't got to deal with that. Y'all are clean, clear, and under control. Because you Geminis, basically, y'all don't have to have, y'all can continue your lives and y'all work doing what you want. And you Geminis don't have to have a person around you that's going to try to sabotage you every time y'all trying to do something. Person is just a mess up. No, you Geminis actually get a chance to live your life how you want. And that's one of the best things from not hanging out with goofies. And I've talked about this before, right? Like certain blessings will not come into your life if you hanging out with certain people. So that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Peace. Come through and get a personal reading, by the way.